The 5 T's of sales. The 5 T's of sales. The 5 T's of sales. This is Todd Saylor, Wired Differently. Todd, I want to talk to you about the 5 T's of sales. Now, in the book, Wired Differently, got some miles on it, and the workbook, Wired Differently, the workbook, I thought of that name. Pretty clever, right? We talk about the 7 fulcrum principles. We talk about the glossary. We talk about a lot of terminology. The last chapter in Wired Differently, we talk about your sale. And we talk about the similar 5 T's. But when you read those, they're going to be more as a fulcrum principle. But I want to go back into my younger days as a salesperson. Actually, I had a great run. I'm probably the greatest salesman to ever walk the planet, to be honest with you. Other than our guy, Jesus. But that's another story, another day. But here's the dealio. When I was selling, I was pretty good. Matter of fact, I was a national sales award winner 3 years in a row. I sold $300 million in product in 5 years of $1 billion company. We were actually the second publicly traded company in the planet in this PEO industry back in the day. But enough of that. But one of the things I taught to my salespeople was the 5 T's of sales. I read a good book by the name of Spin Management, Spin Sales, Neil Rockenport. And it was a great book, but this was kind of a takeoff on that. But the whole idea of spin selling was find out the pain and then solve the pain. Pretty basic principle in sales. Didn't really take a whole book to explain that, but the idea is brilliant. Obviously, get in there, do your inventory, do the investigation, find out the pain, and then solve the pain for the customer with your product. Well, the particular industry that I was in had a lot of different moving parts, and in the PEO world, we could solve a lot of different types of pains. So it was a perfect sales posture for that process. Now, if you're selling vacuum cleaners and cars and things of that nature, you have fewer pain points, but you need to find the customer's problem. But one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about, and I talked to them about, were the 5 T's of sales. And it was fairly simply this, that instead of just only finding out the pain that a customer has, I want you to find out the science behind the buyer. I want you to find out the psyche of the sale, the 5 T's of sales, the psyche of the sale. And so I coined the 5 T's of sales to be told, taught, tugged, teamed, or tamed. Told, taught, tugged, teamed, or tamed. One more time. Told, taught, tugged, teamed, or tamed. So A, we want to find the pain, pretty basic concept. Then we want to go in and give them some aspirin. We're selling the aspirin, right? But more importantly, before we can actually even do that, we have to understand the buyer. We want to understand what type of buyer is. What type of psyche is this buyer in? The psyche of the sale. So your homework isn't just on what the pain is. Your homework needs to be on what type of buyer it is. Now, we're going to go into how to understand all that in this video, but we are going to talk about the 5 T's to look for, which I've already told you. Told, taught, tugged, teamed, or tamed. So first one is told. Of these 5 T's, told is the first one. Told is that authoritative sale, that person who's buying, that person who's in charge of making that decision. You want to find out if that person is one of these 5 T's. Told is the very first one. Is he someone that wants to hear your pitch? Hear you explain how the pain is? Is he someone that wants to hear all that, and then they want you to be an authority in that product and tell them exactly what they should do and why? Some people want to be told what to do. They want that, a confident salesperson, that authoritarian, someone that's been in the industry and can tell you what to do and why, and they can have that confidence so they can move on to the next decision. The second one is taught. Is that purchasing person, someone that wants to be taught? They don't want to be told what to do. They're in charge, but they might want to be taught. So we want to teach them why to use the product. Hold on here, let me show you why. Let's work this through a little more methodically. You're exactly right. Let me explain to you why this is going to make sense for you and your organization, why it's going to come through and make a lot more sense in 5 years and 3 years and 2 years and then in the immediate future. So you got told, taught, you got tugged, Is that person someone that just can't quite make a decision and everyone else kind of gives up because they got more important things to do? At some point you got to cut bait, I get it. But some people just need tugged along. If you know up front that they need to be tugged, then you can put your sales strategy together. I'm going to tug you along, all right? I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm not going to completely teach you, but I'm going to teach you some things. Then I'm going to keep calling you and tugging you along. I'm going to tug you with me. We're going to do this, we're going to do this together. I'm going to make it clear that you're not going to get in any trouble. I'm going to cover all your bases, right? I'm going to just tug you on down the road, and you're going to wear out the other salespeople because you're able to just tug and do a Sammy, a reel. Tug and reel, right? So that's what we want to do. You got told, taught, tugged. We got the team. Now, team is a real good one. Team is this whole idea of, hey, we can do this. We want to play on that psyche. We want to understand their psyche, that they want to be team. They want camaraderie. They want to be in it with somebody to win it together, right? In it to win it together. Let's team up. Let's make some sense here. Let's get to the CEO. But before we get there, you do this, I do this, and we're going to come together and we're going to make this product awesome. We're going to make so much sense. We're going to protect everybody, everything. We have everything covered. Let's do it together. Now, if I can do all these things the way you want together and we can make this presentation, can I have this sale? I'm going to be able to get this sale, right? Right? So we got told, taught, tugged, teamed. And then the last one, tamed. I'm going to close this video out. Tamed is a dastardly rascal. Tamed, I got a great story one of these days I'm going to tell you about a guy that I had to tame. It was crazy. He needed sold, but he was just a wild man, a trucker. Right, a trucker. Those guys are the hardest to sell, but you got to obviously have integrity. You got to go in for the long haul, trucker, and that's what we got to do. Sometimes it just need to be tamed, and that's when we call what we call, you got to be willing to blow the deal to make the deal. At some point, you've got to be able to look them right in the eyes after they've been pushing you around and telling you how they should do it, and how everyone else is pricing under you, and how everyone else is doing this, which is generally a bunch of baloney. Stay in there, stay in there. Look them right in the eyes. Tell them you're going to do it. You're going to stay. You're going to go stay the course. You're going to go the distance. And here's why. And at some point, you just say, listen, here's the final deal. Take it or leave it. And here's why you need to take it. I want to work hard for it. Those are the people that need to be tamed. You're willing to blow the deal to make the deal. Anyways, that's the psyche of the sale, the 5 T's. Told, taught, tugged, teamed, or tamed. Bring it. Wire differently sales.